Welcome to Erlandsson Bygg's construction site. In order for you and everyone else who works here to have a safe and pleasant time, it is important that you have been informed and that you understand the rules and regulations that apply at this workplace. In addition to the general rules and regulations that you see in the film, project-specific rules may apply, and then you will receive specific information about this by the site management. Registration and ID06. When you arrive at the construction site for the first time, you should go to the site office and register according to the routines on the construction site. Your ID06 should be registered, and you must be able to present a valid ID that confirms that the person on the ID06 card is you. If you have a special qualification, for example driver's license for excavator, scaffolding permit, or if you are going to perform hut work, you should provide a copy of the certificates to the site management. Safety protection. At our construction sites, you must wear the following protective equipment: an approved helmet, ear protection, high visibility clothing, and safety footwear with steel cap. If necessary, goggles, gloves, and mouth protection should also be used. The ID06 card should always be worn visibly. If you are doing work with the risk of exposure to quartz and dust, use a half mask with an approved filter. It is your employer who is responsible for providing your protective equipment. Work environment appropriation. At all our construction sites, there is a work environment appropriation with important project-specific information, such as emergency organization, emergency preparedness, work environment plan, and APD plan. On the APD plan, you can see the entrances, exits, loading zones, location of containers, sheds, and environmental stations. It also indicates where first aid equipment and defibrillators are located, as well as the location of the assembly point. The assembly point is also signposted in the workplace. If an emergency arises, we use the horn to get everyone to the assembly point as soon as possible. If you hear this sound, you need to go to the assembly point immediately. The pink vest hanging on the notice board may only be used by Erlandsson's site management in case of accident or distress. Sorting of waste and chemical waste. You should follow the instructions the site management gives you for sorting waste and chemical products on the construction sites. All contractors should sort and dispose their waste, packaging, etc. in the container for the intended material. Hazardous waste must be stored in the environmental container. Where the Absol is stored in the workplace is marked on the APD plan. Notify the site management immediately if you notice leaking machinery, improper handling of chemicals, or other environmental hazards. Safety rounds in BuildSafe. We go safety rounds on the construction site according to the intervals specified on the work environment appropriation under the heading Skyddsorganisation. The protocol is created digitally in BuildSafe but can be read on the notice board in paper form. If you are responsible for the action in a safety round, you are responsible for resolving defects encountered during the round and to report the action in BuildSafe. It is the employer's responsibility that you have the right equipment to be able to receive and report safety round action. If you have any questions about BuildSafe, you should contact the site management. Order. No disassembly or alteration of scaffolding, fall protection, or other protective devices may take place without the permission of the site management. You are responsible for keeping the workplace clean and passable from waste materials and packaging. If you fail in your obligation to clean up your workspace or use the right safety protection, your company will receive a fine. It's very important for Erlandsson Bygg that you report any accidents, incidents, and risks you observe to the site management in order for us to be able to prevent risks and injuries. Tell your colleagues if you see that they expose themselves or others to danger. Vehicles, machinery, scaffolding, and lifting devices require proof of inspection. These must be handed over to the site management and be up to date. You should wear protective and working clothes marked with a logo that clearly shows who your employer is. Comfort. Zero tolerance applies to threats, violence, bullying, victimization, alcohol, and drugs. Vandalism and graffiti are not tolerated on the construction site. Smoking is only allowed on the location designated by the site management. Together we create a good working environment and a good working climate where everyone thrives and feels safe. Nobody should get hurt on our construction sites.